That rust creeping across your undercarriage right now averages $1,200 to fix. But a $3 trick, rooted in chemistry nobody teaches anymore, can turn that orange corrosion into the very layer protecting the metal beneath it. Sam Patel stands in the parts aisle, holding up a catalytic converter with a price tag that reads $150. That's just one piece. Underneath every car, there's a silent list of targets: rocker panels, frame rails, brake lines, suspension arms, exhaust hangers. These are the parts that salt and moisture attack first, places most drivers never see until it's too late. In northern states, winter roads are soaked with sodium chloride brine. That salty film doesn't just melt ice, it clings to steel and turns every puddle into a battery. The water conducts electricity, and the salt acts as an electrolyte, accelerating rust on any exposed metal. By spring, what started as a dusting of orange can become a bill for $1,200 or more. The numbers don't lie. Chiltaway estimates Americans spend $3 billion a year fixing rust that starts this way. A single corroded brake line can mean a $600 repair. Frame rust can double that. Dealers and parts stores know the fear. Markups. On rust converters and replacement parts run as high as 100%, pushing a $70 chemical to $150 or more just for a bottle. For most owners, the threat is invisible until the mechanic calls with bad news. All it takes is one missed spot under the car for a small patch of rust to start eating through, quietly turning every winter drive into a rolling repair bill. Dr. Cheng leans over a sheet of paper, sketching out a chemical bond that looks almost too simple. On one side you have Fe2O3, the red rust that creeps across steel. On the other, tannic acid, a compound found in everything from tea leaves to old oak barrels. When these two meet, something unexpected happens. The equation is clean. Fe2O3 plus 2 molecules of tannic acid forms a new compound, Fe(C14H12O63) plus water. In plain English, the orange dust is transformed into a dark, tightly bound layer called ferric tannate. This isn't just a stain, it's a chemical shield that locks the rust in place and stops it from spreading. But Dr. Cheng doesn't stop there. He adds a note: H3PO4, or phosphoric acid. This isn't just a booster. Phosphoric acid reacts with rust, too, carving microscopic tunnels and creating a network of iron phosphate, FePO4, inside the pores. The reaction is simple. H3PO4 plus Fe2O3 gives you FePO4 and water. The result is a hybrid layer, ferric tannate interwoven with iron phosphate, each part reinforcing the other. Lab tests show this film can cut corrosion rates by over 85% compared to untreated steel. What makes this so practical is that the whole process is driven by chemistry, not by a thick coat of paint or an expensive polymer. The acids do the heavy lifting, and the cost stays low. A gallon of DIY blend runs about $3. The science is so solid that commercial converters use the same two reactions, just with fancier packaging. Instead of sanding away every trace of rust or paying for a new part, the rust itself gets flipped into a line of defense. It's the kind of trick that feels like it shouldn't work, but the equations and the evidence say otherwise. For anyone fighting off another winter of salt and slush, this is a way to get ahead of the problem before small spots become big bills. MIA snaps on a pair of nitrile gloves and lines up her tools, a stiff wire brush, a plastic mixing cup, and 2 bottles labeled tannic acid and phosphoric acid. She starts by scrubbing a patch of orange rust on a suspension arm until only a thin, tight layer remains. No loose flakes, just rough steel. Into the cup, she measures 30 grams of tannic acid powder, pours in 250 milliliters of distilled water, and stirs until the mix turns a pale amber. Next, she adds 5 milliliters of phosphoric acid, swirling gently. The solution darkens as the acids blend, ready to go. Before dipping the brush, Mia checks her mask and cracks the garage door for airflow. The first pass goes on wet and thin. Within seconds, the orange rust shifts to a deep black, proof that the chemistry is working. She keeps the area saturated for a full minute, then lets it sit. The color deepens as the reaction locks in. After 15 minutes, the surface is dry to the touch and hard, not sticky. Mia inspects the finish. No orange, just a dense, black layer that signals the rust has been converted, not just hidden. She wipes her gloves, sets the brush aside, and marks the time. The whole process, from wire brush to cure, Takes less than half an hour, and the only must-haves are gloves, a mask, and a little patience. No fancy tools, no $100 bottles, just a $3 blend and a method that turns rust's own chemistry against itself. Salt and moisture find their way to the rocker panels and brake lines first, settling in seams and crevices where rust quietly begins. These are the true hot spots: rocker panels, frame rails, suspension arms, exhaust brackets, each marked by a faint orange dusting. The treatment only works if rust is less than 0.1 millimeters deep. Once metal flakes or holes appear, nothing will reverse it. Early action is everything. Maintenance matters too. In regions where roads are salted, the protective layer should be checked and refreshed every 6 to 12 months. A quick touch-up keeps the barrier strong. Mike, a retired delivery driver, stretched the life of his F-150 by 2 or 3 years using this method, spending just a few dollars on supplies. He avoided a $1,200 rocker panel replacement simply by acting before the damage ran too deep. For those willing to put in the time, the reward is real: more miles, fewer costly surprises. Every winter, rust creeps in, yet a $3 bottle and a little chemistry can buy years for your ride. No gimmicks, no industry markup. Sometimes old knowledge beats new expense. Let me know if you'll try it.